When the flirting and the fun fades, that's when communication gets harder. That's when partnership gets harder. And that's when your marriage gets harder. But just because the flirting is temporarily gone, it doesn't mean that it's impossible to re-spark. You don't need to go back to your kid-free days to feel that way about each other again. What you really need to do is reintroduce these playful, flirty aspects in a way that fits with your current lifestyle. It's not about finding time for it. It's not about, oh, that was before. Now we're married with kids. We don't need that. Your marriage does need that. That's your glue to each other. Because if you don't have that, what do you have? You're really just co-parenting roommates. And I hear this so much, and it doesn't sound like it's enough for people. Welcome to the Marriage and Motherhood Podcast. I'm your host, Michelle Perda. As a marriage coach who's married with 3 kids, I know how much parenthood could change a marriage. If flirting, laughing, and having fun together feels like a thing of the past, then I'm here to teach you that marriage doesn't have to feel so hard with your parents, and your marriage can thrive even when you're in the season of raising kids. Whether you're in a good place in your marriage and you just want to continue growing together, or you're wondering if you even like your spouse anymore, this podcast has something for you. Join me here each week as we dive into what it takes to help your marriage grow, and maybe even do a 180. You'll learn ways to handle conflict better, bring that spark back into your relationship, as well as learn how to improve other areas of your life from my lovely guest experts. Are you ready for the next stage of your life in marriage? Let's dive in. Hello. Welcome back to another episode of the Marriage and Motherhood Podcast. I know how much marriage gets impacted when you have kids. You go from romance being a regular occurrence to pure responsibility. No one will argue with you about how much more there is to do, how much more tired you are, how little energy you have for anything beyond the bare minimum. And I want to share with you how you can help your marriage thrive while raising kids by bringing back flirting, bringing back fun in your marriage, and why it's important to have these things, okay? I remember when my son was first born, I could care less about what was going on with my husband. I was so focused on taking care of my baby, making sure that he would sleep because I felt like he was allergic. Like it took longer to put him down than he actually slept. And I had milk production issues. So that was like a whole other job in itself, right? I was like truly trying to somehow make myself into a milk factory. And I felt like a cow. Between the nursing and the pumping and just doing all of the things, taking the supplements, eating the right foods, drinking enough water, I didn't care about what my husband needed. I was only focused on what my son needed and what I needed from my husband to be able to survive, right? And I noticed that he stopped flirting, that we were laughing less together. And things felt tense. We would argue more. Things would not feel light and fun anymore. And it was just like, what is happening? And this is not unique to me. I've heard from many of you that this is a common theme when we have kids, right? That our focus shifts to raising kids and the marriage gets put on the back burner. And then the flirting, the playfulness, the fun, the light, it fades. And we make this assumption that once the kids are older, once they're more independent, maybe even once they are moved out of the house, that's going to be our time to reconnect. But if you zoom out and really look at it, you're asking for your marriage to be put on hold for a minimum of 5 years, maybe more, right? Depending on the needs of your child. And then you have more kids, so then that extends. But do you think that your relationship would be okay with your kids if you ignored them for that many years? No, right? They're going to want nothing to do with you. And your marriage is no different. Your marriage is very much a living, breathing thing that needs to be cared for. And I know that's difficult to hear because it's yet another thing to do, right? You've got busy schedules, you've got the overwhelm of being a mom with all the lists, all the preparation, all of the things, all of the remembering, feeling unappreciated, maybe, feeling unsupported, maybe, feeling like life is just so rinse and repeat. Like, where is the novelty in everything? Maybe you even have resentment. So, why would we want to flirt and have fun with them when there really is nothing motivating us to? But here's the thing, when the flirting and the fun fades, that's when communication gets harder. That's when partnership gets harder. And that's when your marriage gets harder. But thank goodness, just because the flirting is temporarily gone, it doesn't mean that it's impossible to re-spark. You don't need to go back to your kid-free days to feel that way about each other again. What you really need to do is reintroduce these playful, flirty aspects in a way that fits with your current lifestyle. It's not about finding time for it. It's not about, oh, that was before. Now we're a married couple with kids. We don't need that. But your marriage does need that. That's what is your glue to each other, right? Because otherwise, if you don't have that, what do you have? You're really just co-parenting roommates. And I hear this so much, and it doesn't sound like it's enough for people. I know it's not enough for me. I still need that romantic relationship. Maybe my idea of romance has evolved and changed, but I still need to feel like I'm a woman who is married to my husband who adores me and makes me feel special. Yes, it's great to have a partner in housework and it's great to have a partner in parenting, but I am more than just someone who lives here and someone who is a mom. I have my own needs. My emotional intimacy cup needs to be filled. My physical intimacy cup needs to be filled. So my marriage needs to stay alive for that. And also, I want to model a relationship that isn't just centered around my kids. So when we think about flirting, it isn't just like foreplay to sex. It's about emotional connection. I like to connect with my husband. It creates positive interactions within your relationship, which makes your connection stronger, which makes conflict easier to navigate because you two feel connected. And when we feel connected, we are more motivated to want to understand each other. We're more motivated to listen to each other and work through things together. Whereas when you're not, it's easier to just be like, forget it. This is not worth it. Okay. It also reminds you that your relationship isn't all about responsibilities. It's also about enjoying life together. And couples who laugh and play, they stay together because the basis of your marriage is friendship. Are you still being friends? What do friends do? They play, they laugh, they talk, they're there for each other. Do you do that still? If the answer is no, it's okay. Let's get you back to that. It might feel awkward at first, but it's one of those things where it's like, oh gosh, it's been a while and it feels foreign, doesn't feel natural. But I know that once we get a hang of this thing, this is going to be our new normal. And it's going to just come more naturally to you. I know that happened to me. There was a time where I felt like I could do without that part. I could do without the flirting. I could do without the sex because my hormones were just completely off. But I noticed that we weren't as happy together. It was truly just us being in the business of raising kids together and taking care of the home together. And life is more than that. Okay? Life is more than responsibilities. And it's the fun, it's the flirting, it's the playfulness that really balance out our lives so that it doesn't feel so serious all the time. So here are some simple ways to bring back flirting and playfulness in your marriage. You can start off by sending playful texts, whether it's something flirty, an inside joke, a meme, a reel, just to show that you are thinking of him. My husband and I send each other things all the time. He's always sending me Reddit stuff. I'm always sending him Instagram stuff just because we hang out in different places. You can also compliment him on something random. Tell him that you're thinking about him. It could start off very small. Just get in the habit of doing something like this, doing something out of the norm that builds on this connection that you have with him. You can also surprise him. You can give him a little tap on the butt while you pass by. You can massage his shoulders. You can whisper something in his ear when the kids are around. You can wear something that you know that he would like. Also, create opportunities to laugh together. Watch a funny movie, watch a comedy. If you're too tired at the end of the night, watch some comedy reels or shorts. Play a game together. Be silly. Be a kid again, right? I love playing video games. And whenever we play things like Mario Kart or board games, it brings out this youthful side of us. You could even make fun of yourself and like just have some lighthearted banter going between you two. Laughter is such a great way to bond. You can even set up a date that is fun. We like go-kart racing. We haven't done that in a while, so we should probably go do that. If you guys like to be creative, but you're not so skilled at it, you can go do like a paint and sip and laugh at how terrible your paintings are. Like, there are so many different ways that you can create moments to laugh together. You can also recreate old dates, like reminiscing about a date in the past and then recreate it at home or outside of the home. You can also try something new together, right? You can take a dance class, take a cooking class, take a drawing class, go wine tasting, do something, try out a new restaurant, right? Anything that creates memories, core memories, is going to be a great thing. It'll dust off the stagnancy that your marriage feels like it's going through right now. And then another thing you can do is finding micro connections, like hugging for longer, kissing good morning or good night or hello and goodbye. You can wink at each other from across the room. My husband and I both work from home. So sometimes when I walk past him, I'll like give him a little wink or do something quick just to break up the monotony and to flirt, but it's like super fast. It's like 2 seconds. There's a lot of things that you can be creative about to connect with each other. So there's micro connections that you can do on a regular basis that doesn't really require any planning, could be very spontaneous. And then there's macro connections, which is like going on those dates, right? Getting a sitter, having that quality time. Find a way to connect with your husband on a regular basis. You could even have a conversation with him about how you miss certain things or how you want to do certain things more, right? Not in a way where it's like calling him out and saying how he's not doing something right or he's not enough, but rather you two as a couple and how things have changed and how you want to bring this part back in your relationship. So find those micro connections. And then when you have the chance, make time for those macro connections, like going on a date, like going on vacation together, right? Getting that solid quality time where it is uninterrupted and you can talk to each other. You can have extended time where you're not trying to take care of kids at the same time, or you have one ear listening to him and one ear listening to see if the kids are up to no good, you know? The point is to just keep the connection alive, because when you allow it to fade and you do nothing about it, that's when your marriage starts to deteriorate. That's where you're going to get to the point where the kids move out and you feel like strangers, because the kids are really great buffers. They're really great distractions, and time goes by so fast when we are focused on the kids. Or for some people, they don't even make it to that point because they recognize that the connection has faded, but they didn't do anything about it. And then communication got really bad. and you start to dislike each other more and more, and the resentment is growing. And I do want to just put out there that it is normal to go through times of your relationship where it feels like you're really connected and then it kind of fades and then you feel disconnected. The point is, make sure that when you do recognize that you are starting to feel disconnected, you do something about it, okay? Bring it back. Talk about it if you need to. Work through the things that are stopping you from wanting to connect with each other. So if you find yourself saying, I don't have time, it doesn't have to take time. I already shared ways that you can do it super fast. It's all about the intention. It's all about why you're doing it, right? Your energy behind it. Or if you're like, oh, it feels so forced, or I'm not used to it anymore, it's okay. With anything, the more you do it, the more natural you're going to feel. So start off with something that feels okay, and then you're going to get more creative. It's going to feel easier. Or I don't know where to start. Just start small. Touching him on the shoulder, sending a text, sending a joke. It doesn't have to be serious, right? There's no pressure to this. It is meant to bring fun and connection. All right. So flirting is going to keep the energy of playfulness alive in your marriage, and it will help you navigate the world of responsibilities that you are facing and make life feel so much better knowing that this person is doing it alongside you and that you two are doing it together. Okay, so my invitation to you today is try one of these ideas. Hopefully this episode has sparked some different ideas for you, and see how your partner responds and give it some time, right? Sometimes at first it could feel weird, like, what are you doing? Because he's not used to it anymore. But just start playing around with it. Do trial and error and see what happens, okay? If you do try it, let me know how it works out. I'd love to cheer you on. And if you know someone that could benefit from listening to this episode, please share it. And if you love the show, please leave a rating and review on Apple Podcasts, on Spotify, wherever you listen. I would so appreciate it. And that's it for today. I'll catch you back here on the next episode. Bye.
That's it for this episode. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I enjoyed making it. If you did, please send me a message over on Instagram at Michelle Perta Coaching to let me know what you loved most about it. Hearing from my listeners is my absolute favorite. And if you've been loving this podcast, please leave a rating and review. This will help people like you find the show and get the help they need. Catch you here on the next episode. Bye.